Adventure of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio with a, once again, positively Pipeman segment, powerful business strategies. And I'm going to ask Michael Barbarita from Next Step CFO if he wants fries with that.
Well, that is the single question that makes McDonald's millions of dollars every single day. And here's why it matters to your audience, Dean. And thank you for having me, by the way. The reason why it matters is that 34% of customers will buy additional products or services at the time of purchase if you simply ask. And the problem is that most business owners don't ask. So when you think about it, you're not chasing leads. This is just an additional sale that would have never happened otherwise by simply asking. And companies and Amazon is also great at this, where you buy one product, it's making suggestions on other products that you should buy that are similar that other people have bought after they bought the same product. And it's a strategy that works incredibly well. And everybody's website should also have suggestive selling incorporated in it, especially if there's some type of e-commerce company. But even beside that, I don't care who you are. Anytime you make a sale, you should be asking for another one, and with different products or services that, in all likelihood, the customer does not know that you have and that you offer. And that's the other thing. I was talking to a client today, and I said, every business owner thinks there's someone like Michael Jordan or Abraham Lincoln where they're just not forgettable. They're very forgettable. They're very forgettable. It's because a lot of my clients, when I talk about drip campaigns and reaching out to former customers that haven't bought from you in a while, they know who I am. They know they know me. They know who I am, who we are. We did business with them. They don't. They forget.
Yeah.
And they need to be reminded. I've got so many clients that just don't understand that concept of rejuvenating former customers and the concept of simply asking. Just ask. If you made a sale, you've got them in the right position. They got their wallets out because they're buying from you already. And 1/3 of the time, they're going to buy something else. Will you get rejected? Yeah, 2/3 of the time.
Yeah.
But the other 1/3 of the time, you're going to get additional business. You're going to increase your average dollar per sale.
There's a saying that I live by, and that is ask equals get, which also translates to if you don't ask, you don't get.
That's right. It's so true. And a lot of business owners, in every one of your, whether it's a sales presentation or some type of a communication with customers, whether it's online or otherwise, you need to have suggestive selling to sell something else. Do you want fries with that? Do you want a Coke with that? All of that type of suggestive selling.
Would you like to supersize that?
Yes. Would you like to supersize that? It's incredible how much money that has made companies like McDonald's, like Amazon, and it's not a difficult thing. And all we're saying is just ask, just ask. And by the way, many times, I have a client in the roofing business, and he also sells siding and gutters, and fortunately or unfortunately, the name of his company has the word roofing in it. So people just think he sells roofing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. And so, and this past year, almost 90% of his sales were roofing. I said, you need to let your customers know at the point of sale, as well as through drip campaigns, but at the point of sale, that you sell roofing, siding and gutters. And windows too, by the way. So he sells all these things, has the ability to sell all these things, but customers don't know, mainly because of his name, but maybe not. I bet you if his name didn't have the word roofing in it, these customers still wouldn't know he did siding, gutters, and windows.
Yeah.
And so it's really paramount. We know our companies better than the customer does by a landslide. And that's how we have to think about it. By a landslide. They don't know we sell half the stuff that we do sell.
Yeah.
They forget that we sell the primary stuff that we sold them. They
That
forget
is
who we are.
so important, because you know how many times people buy services and products from another company that you do, and they never knew you did it, and it would have been such an easy sale.
That's right. And that's what kills me, because I think if people think about how they deal with their own life, who was that company I used? Who was that business that I used a few years back that did such a great job? They forgot.
Yeah.
That's okay. People forget. They don't, it's not, your name isn't Abraham Lincoln. You know, it's not something, or Michael Jordan, where it's something that they're going to absolutely remember and know. It just isn't that way. You're just a company that's in a sea of other companies and other businesses. And so it's critical that you just ask 34% of the time.
I'll tell you what, too. I have a story myself. You know, when I worked at Prudential, starting off in the financial industry, what you used to do is you used to set appointments based on giving them a quote on their auto insurance to save them money on their auto insurance. But really, the real reason you were there was to sell life insurance, but you didn't go in with that. So you went in with it, and then you saved the money. And while you're writing the auto insurance, that's when you open up the door for the life insurance. But really, the money that you really made as the agent was off the life insurance, not off the auto policy. And
Right.
I'm mentioning that because sometimes when you just ask, you're going to get a much bigger profit than what you initially sold.
Right. Agreed. Yeah, it really is amazing how much you can increase your average ticket per customer by just simply asking. That's it. That's all you have to do.
No doubt.
It's not a big ask. It's just
No,
ask.
it's not.
That's
No,
it.
it's not. So why do you think people just don't ask?
I think they're so focused on making the initial sale and so happy that they made it that, you know, or sometimes the mechanics of closing a sale are extensive. Okay, where you have to write stuff up and that type of thing. And they either don't think about it or they're just happy with what they got. When in fact, just happy with what they got.
You know, and the thing is, too, is that a lot of times in that scenario, like that's the best part and time in your relationship with that client is at the moment of sale. So the most likelihood that you're going to get people to listen to you about other products and services that you have is right then and there.
Right. That's it. That's the point. That's the point when they're ready, they're most active to purchase. And by the way, there's also another point in time that it actually also has a high close rate, and that is at the end when a job is completed, especially in the trades. A job is completed, the customer is really happy, and now you're telling me what else you sell. It's unbelievable. Works very well.
Exactly, because
And
once you have a relationship, they're most likely to do business with you.
Absolutely, and it's the best time to ask them for a review as well.
Yeah, and referral.
Right.
Do it all. Do it all.
Right. Do it all.
Right.
Kill it all.
So, anything else you want to share about this subject, and also tell people how they can reach out to you for more information and more help in this arena?
Yes. So the way, what I love to do to help business owners and help myself, to be honest with you, is do book interviews. We're always updating our book. There's always something new happening in business. I mean, a year ago, tariffs were something that was just a word, and now it has an impact in business. And so, you know, that's why I always say business is always changing, and I need to constantly update my book. to get new and fresh information in there and fresh ideas, which I get from business owners through book interviews. And it works really simple. It's 60 minutes on Zoom. I share strategies from my book, and then I ask the interviewee if a business owner in their industry were to implement that strategy, what would the impact be? And then I document it for the book. It's an industry perspective that I like getting.
Love it. Love what you do to help businesses. They need it more than ever, I think, nowadays. And thank you, Michael, for all the great advice you give. And thanks for being here on the Positively Pipeman segment of the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thanks for having me, Keith.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.